15 seconds usually when it does, because
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, my phone's beeping over there, so I guess it's working.
There you go.
So how are
Oh,
you?
hello. Good. Hello, hello. Doing
Hello.
the feeling kind of hectic. I've been a little bit absent on the space because of a lot of work things happening. So exciting things and very, very stressful things, but just it's gonna be busy for the next couple of months still. So
Yeah,
get there.
I know we've been going kind of crazy at work a little bit too. So, hi, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
I
Hello,
can't say
everyone.
hello
If you're
without singing hello sometimes. I'm
all
all
right,
like,
hello.
hello.
If you're just joining us, I would just say hi. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and do hashtag replay. And just forewarned is wait, fair warned is forewarned. We will be doing spoilers, so
Yes,
on this as well. I know some book clubs don't, but
we do
I
spoilers.
don't know. Yes, I there's just no other way in a book club to not talk about
All right.
for,
So, what have you
for
been
me
reading?
anyway. Right now I'm reading an arc of The Homewrecker by Sarah Kate.
Okay.
So I haven't been reading contemporary romance in a while, so it's nice to get back into it a little bit. But I just
It,
got done rereading From Blood and Ash because with all the stress, I've been needing a comfort, and it's a series I've been wanting to read back again because I haven't read The War of Two Queens yet, and I wanted to just read straight through, and not read the prequel in between there, prequel series in between. So I just want to do those straight through and then read the prequel straight through, prequel series. So
I never
what about
like
you?
the prequels or anything after they've done the beginning of the series and then they pop a little one in between and I don't read those.
Well, it's basically a sister series, but it's
Oh.
like before, like hundreds and hundreds of years before. But that was a recommended order because that's like the publication order that the author recommends.
Mm.
Because if you read it before, if you don't read it, I guess after War of Two Queens, you might get something may not make sense or something. But I don't know. I'm trying to. It's been a while, but
Mm. That's my dinner.
there you
Hang
go.
on. Let me go get my
Take
dinner
a
really
pause.
quick. Hang on, hang on.
Pause. Reese. Hey Becky, what are you reading?
So sorry. I've been reading a book called The Last Hunt, and it's a sci-fi space opera romance by
Ooh,
Abby Grayson. And I've been reading very slowly because honestly, this is only really the third book I've read this entire month.
okay, so that's
um,
just me. Okay.
so I really well we'll get into it, but haven't been having a very productive reading month, really. But
Well,
it's
you're
not.
busy doing your shelves.
I'm so busy doing other things right now that I just oh gosh, I don't know what's wrong with my volume today. Okay. I don't know.
There you go.
Um yeah, I've just been doing so many other things right now that I can't focus on reading. So, but anyways, we'll
I
talk
feel you.
about this book.
Yeah. That's
Do you
funny.
want to start?
Yeah, so well, I know you DNF'd, right? At
So
the
I DNF'd a book. I got to about like 34, 35%. And book wasn't bad, but Hero Hero was making me uncomfortable. I
hmm
felt like he was very predatory and especially towards her. and it didn't work for me. Like it just wasn't working for me, and it was making me feel very uncomfortable. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop.
He's a little possessive, yes. I would have to say I agree in a way on the fact that he's definitely I almost didn't think I was gonna like it because he definitely turned me off a little bit just because there's just like it was the authors trying to make him be more like trying to remind me of like reading The Highwayman by Kerrigan Byrne,
Yeah.
that possessive dominant person. Um and he has this aversion to people touching him, like he gets physical pain like touching him kind of a thing.
Mhm.
So but in some instances it didn't make sense. So I can see that. Him just showing up in her house was kind of an interesting take.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think for me, I think what I liked about it is what I liked about The Highwayman is the setting and the atmosphere. And like some of like the way that the author is writing. The only thing like there's just some weird things like the why the names are just so weird, like Lazarus and Silence.
Yeah.
It's just very strange picks for me. Um,
I kept thinking
and the
that brother
character.
was a sister. Sorry, I kept
Oh,
thinking
you
the
get
brother
something
was a
about the
sister
sticker.
because it's like Winters. His name is Winters. Like not just one winter,
Yeah,
two winters.
yeah,
It was weird.
yeah. Winters. Yeah, it's a weird one. So I'm I think I rated a 4 at this point, but I think I might settle on a 3 because I still liked it.
Mhm.
It just had like that split of like I was never bored, so that's why I was like leaning more towards a 4. But it was just kind of the character part was interesting. Plus, I'm not big on the mystery plot. I
Yeah.
don't. I'm not big on a murder mystery.
It was. I found that part interesting. Like I
Yeah,
found,
it was interesting. Yeah,
but it was being dragged out a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
And I think
felt
I would have made it
repetitive.
through had the hero not be creepy. So I don't know. He was a little creepy for me.
He reminds you like the way he's looked on the cover isn't really how he has more silvery hair, kind of like what's his name, Malfoy, the dad Malfoy in
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, he's like a
He had more of
30-year-old
that look.
daddy.
Yeah, with the he had a cane and everything, so he was giving
He was
Lucius
giving daddy
Malfoy kind of
vibes.
vibes.
Yeah, but
Yes.
he wasn't a daddy. He was a creeper. He like would have just like he popped in her room. The door was locked and everything. He broke into her house. Okay, I don't know. I don't know.
See, that doesn't bother me that much at all. It's just the weird like
And then he'd
the
come up behind her and be like, "Hey, hey."
yeah, it's like their
He kept doing
interactions
that.
were strange sometimes. Like their
It was
communication
strange.
was stilted a little bit. Although I will say the steamy scenes were great. So there was fun times in a carriage. So I always
Oh,
enjoy
I didn't
those.
get there. I didn't get that far. I don't even think they kissed yet. No, maybe
Yeah,
they
so
did kiss. I don't remember. She was like strapping him up after he got like stabbed or something.
yeah, and there's like a lot of like tension built that way. There's a lot of like the sexual tension. The problem for me was this was definitely more of a I like the setting and the atmosphere and like the tension and the such, but that the tension was more built in a, like a lust sense versus
Mhm.
a chemistry sense between the two characters. Like I wanted more of that, how I like my angst or pining or some more of the pining or angst as well as the steamy times. Um, but at least the steamy times weren't bad. At least there was some chemistry during that.
Yeah, and I think at some point he was talking to like a friend or something, and the friend was like, "Is he your next trophy?" or something like that, and he's like, "Yes." Or he alluded to like, "Yes, leave her alone, she's mine, blah 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 blah." Which is fine. I don't mind the she's mine stuff, but it was more like treating her as a possession almost, like a
Yeah,
thing.
that's a thing that like
It
because
was a
otherwise I'm like,
weird uncle.
why don't you like what about her do you like though? It's like one of those saying is like, what about her do you like other than she's there?
And if I
or
had to
she
hear
caught your
that from, yeah,
attention.
if I had to hear about how poor she was anymore, I'm like, oh, girlfriend. I don't know. I was getting so annoyed. She's so
Uh,
poor.
oh, thanks, Bex. I haven't really
Oh,
been paying attention lately. I've been so bad.
congratulations.
I was like,
So yeah,
okay.
I was actually kind of sad this didn't quite work for me because I did want to read it.
I am intrigued though. There's a little bit like you get other points of view from like Silence, her sister, and Winters. So I do like that. And as well as you get the male main character, his perspective. But what I like about so it intrigued me because I think I'm more intrigued about Silence. I think it's her next book. His next book, Silence, um, has a little bit of that pirate romance feeling going on.
Sorry, my phone's ringing. Can you just give that to me? Thank you. I was charging, so it was way on the other side of the room. And of course, you know, everyone.
Right.
Oh, one other thing I wanted to talk about.
Hmm.
The before the chapters, it was some story about a king and a maid.
That was interesting. It
What?
felt random.
It felt random. Like I was like, is there ever going to be a point to this? I didn't quite get how it matched
It
what
felt
was
like
happening in the story.
it was like a story part use it's almost like a fairy tale telling. Like it tells you the end on the last chapter on it, but it was a little weird where I can see where you're saying it didn't relate
Yeah, it felt
on that
very
chapter.
disconnected from
Hmm.
what was actually happening in the story. So it was like the chapter would end and something would happen, but then the beginning of the next chapter was like I was listening to the audiobook, so I was like so lost in the beginning of every like the first few chapters and I'm like, "Oh, she's telling some kind of story." And I
It's
didn't get it.
it was I think when I was reading at the end, I'm like, this kind of feels like when you read about Silence, a little snippet of like a little hint of what to come in her book. It felt like it would be better fit for her book. Because it's basically just about a king that doesn't know what the meaning of love is, and that he basically kind of like a Beauty and Beast telling. Well, he is imprisons uh, the heroine in that story, and he has to learn that his people fear him, they don't actually love him, and that whole thing. And here's an example. Oh, what about my mistress? Does she love me? Like, or my whatever. Um, it's not about that, and that like it was the whole telling of if you love something, you need to let it go, and if it
Mhm.
comes back to you, is meant to be. That's basically was the meaning of the story, but it was just like a weird thing where it seems like that would fit. It might possibly fit for Silence based upon the snippet on her story during this. Um, but it's
Yeah.
funny how it's like I was more intrigued about Silence. I'm like, I want to go follow that story because it
Silence is
has
the
a little
one
bit
with
of a
the husband that's the merchant, right? And he only comes home like once a month or whatever.
hmm.
Yeah.
And
That was more interesting. And then like his ship
yeah,
got stolen or something like that.
yeah, because it has a little bit of like a marriage in crisis kind of vibe because as well as he's like, okay, well, you say your husband really loves you, but they makes a deal that she has to stay in his room for a night. She would have to sleep in bed. And would your husband believe that nothing happened? Because nothing did happen.
Mhm.
But it comes across that like her husband doesn't believe her. So
Mhm.
it's just that whole thing of testing her love with that. And he also comes across, I think he's like a oh gosh, what is it when they steal products and such? Oh gosh, what's it
A
called?
thief?
The oh oh gosh, with the sale of products and such like that, like hidden. He seems like a little bit of like a river pirate, a little bit. I think they call him like a river pirate or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of that's why it's interesting. Like, ooh, is he like a little bit like a pirate? I'm like, okay, people would
Yeah.
like that.
So who was the
Yes, he's like a
murderer?
thief.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
she's like, I don't know the names.
I wanted it to be the brother because she was making him almost like too goody goody. So I was like, in a way, I kind of wanted it to be Winters. But then I'm like, maybe it's that husband or whatever. So who
No,
was it a totally
it
random
was
person?
it was the brothel maiden person,
The one she hates because she
the one that kind of takes um
the babies and
the orphans. Yeah,
sells them.
kind of, yeah.
Okay. Why
A
does
smuggler, that's the word, Becky. Yes,
so why did
that's it.
so did she
You
murder
know, it's
his
gonna bother me.
mistress? There we go, smuggler. Uh, did
She
she
murdered
murder
the mistress
because the
and the
mistress found
mistress's.
out?
Yeah, and then there was also another body discovered. It was the mistress's brother also was found
Mm.
during the story. So that was kind of the thing.
Okay, at
Um,
least it wasn't somebody completely random.
yeah, it's something about blackmail or something. See, I didn't really. It wasn't that. It was kind of intriguing, but to me, it wasn't that intriguing to where I really cared about that mystery plot about it. But I was intrigued enough to know who it was. But when I
That
found out, I wasn't exactly totally surprised. But
Oh, okay. See where I left off? I probably would have been surprised because hang on. Cuz I think we only had one interaction with her in the beginning, and that was just to get the backstory of why what's her face? What was the heroine's name again? Temperance? No.
Temperance, maybe, yeah.
Was it Temperance? There's another book where her name is Temperance, so I don't know if I'm getting it confused. It's a weird name.
Yeah, she's a widow, Temperance Dews.
Temperance
So yeah, you're
Dews.
right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. At least
It's
it wasn't somebody like strange. But I was like, they're painting the brother as too goody goody. So I don't know if he's gonna get a book or whatever. But
but there's a ghost of St. Giles.
oh my god, there's a ghost of Saint Giles.
There's him. He has looks like sword scratches on his body. And
When you said so, you messaged me earlier when you said he was supposed to be like a Batman character, and I laughed
well,
hysterically.
there's like a Batman-esque like quality to the book. I didn't say he was a Batman. I said there's
Like,
a
is
bat. She did suspect him. I think maybe at one point. I can't remember, but
it?
there
Oh,
is a
okay.
Batman-esque quality to it.
Because
It
he's
looks
like
like so.
vigilante justice type of thing.
Yeah, and he wears like a joke. Is it a Joker or something? Like a pair. I looked it up and I'm like, this looks like the whole Joker for like a king kind of thing, a jester.
Sorry, the kitten just knocked over all the food.
That's
this, this is a bonkers
well,
time for me.
he's wearing a jester outfit.
Oh my god.
So like when I looked that up, I'm like, that's interesting.
Like
How is
with
that
the
incognito
shoes.
in the dark?
Like with
That's
the
what I'm
shoes.
wondering. All I'm
And
picturing
the
is a
like little
colorful outfit.
the hat thing?
And the mask, like the mask thing, yeah, I don't know what he's wearing, but I'm like, I need someone to fan art or something to show me what they're doing because that didn't make any sense to me. And I'm like, I was just laughing. I'm like, he's really going around there, ha, and the bells are jingling. I don't know.
Don't mind me. Oh
It
my
reminds me a
god.
little bit like a third musket, like the Three Musketeers kind of a thing. Oh
Oh
goodness.
my god, this book. Maybe I should finish it.
It was a little. That's why I was like, well, I was like the whole tag. I'm like, is it a 4? It's definitely not a 5, but it's close to it.
Oh, you know what the other problem is? I'm just not like in a historical mood right now either for some
Hmm.
reason. Like
See, I'm trying to populate it for you.
you are.
I'm
I
trying to like by
liked the
switching each
other
month.
story. I just didn't like this hero. I thought he was so weird.
Yeah,
So weird.
he was a little weird, and I'm like, if it was, I didn't. it's the whole Lucius Malfoy picture because I don't like now if it was a Draco kind of like
See,
fan art a little
even
bit
that for me, you
influenced
lost me.
from here.
I'm not into that.
You're like, nope, thank you, next.
Sorry, I misordered dinner. Okay, okay. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm distracted today a lot.
like, oh goodness.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard so much about this series that people really like it, and it's kind of
Yeah,
bonkers. But I
B
didn't
said
really see any
she liked it.
bonkers moments. So I don't know.
I don't know if
Maybe
it
I just
was
didn't get
bonkers.
far enough into it.
Yeah, it's definitely more of like a darker, gritty kind of like a dark historical, more like a noir
Mm. See, I did
historical
not get
romance,
those
which
vibes at all.
I got a very like excuse me, dark London underbelly a little bit feeling
Hmm.
because of the dangerousness of it and everything. But
Have you ever seen Call the Midwife?
no, I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
So that is like a show set in like the 1920s, 30s, 40s, whatever it is. Even later. And that is in like a very, very poor part of London. I kept picturing that. Like it just
Oh, this was in the Georgian time, so like 1700s.
yeah. See, I thought it was more ancient. I didn't even get that time period right.
To be
This is the
honest, I don't
problem with
think
the
the
audio. I bet you it's an audiobook problem.
well, even reading it, to be honest, there wasn't that much description from the author's part to make you, unless because it's kind of told to you that it was that time period. Other than that, the descriptions, it doesn't really feel like that. So
Mm.
I don't, that may be why I didn't feel like that for you. Because,
Yeah.
like,
Who
even though that's what the author
stole
said,
who stole the stuff off the ship?
that pirate guy, the one that
The
the one
husband?
that made the deal, no, the one that made the deal with this, with silence. He's like the boss, the smuggler boss guy,
I don't
called
think I
the
got
River
that.
Pirate Man.
I don't think I got
Yeah.
that far.
But he did end up returning it because that was the deal with Silence was to return the stuff so that her husband wouldn't get imprisoned. And so she sacrificed, and that was
Mm.
prove to me that your husband really loves you by spending the night with me in my room.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen, but will your husband believe you? So she sacrificed, but her husband, like, it was just showing that how much he wasn't much of a, I think it really basically was highlighting he was a coward kind of a thing. Um,
Mm.
when reading it, like how much he wasn't really, because even when he was facing that, he was coming across very, I don't know,
It
not
feels
really
almost like two
bucking
stories
up,
in
I
one.
guess.
It feels like two
Yeah, it is a little bit.
with Silence's story with her husband, and then with Temperance's story with the home for kids getting a patron, and
Yeah,
then there's the murder mystery aspect of it. There's a lot of things
yeah.
going on in this. A lot of sneaking
Which
around.
that's why I felt like that's why it's more of a, yeah, this is why it does remind me it might be a three because it doesn't feel like it was much of a romance besides the steamy part because like there's a bulk of the murder mystery and it was repetitive him taking her every night to go out and interview these people even though it was very dangerous for her to be out there because each time they go out they basically get attacked.
Yeah.
It's been kind of counterproductive. Yeah, and then the silence part was only I think a few chapters, but and then the other part was her brother's like point of view, which is a few chapters. So, but ironically for me, it was her sister's like little mini story that I was more intrigued by. I was just hoping I wanted their actual main character relationship to be more of the focus and more of the plot. and like maybe hint at that at the end of the book, like silence part, because that's going to lead you to want to find out into the second book. So I think maybe there might have been scenes that could have been just cut and pasted something differently in the book.
Well, they could have
If I
thrown
would,
out that whole story with the king and the maid for sure. Like that didn't make sense at all.
yeah,
Like
that's a
I feel like that could have just been done away with.
hey, not it wasn't as bad as reading The Beast and reading about ambergris every single. It was so annoying every time talking about ambergris. I just want to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to learn about this anymore.
That's so annoying.
But I know, right? Who names their kid Silence?
Temperance and silence, and clearly their
The
family was
Winters
very in winters. What?
and Lazarus. I mean
The
Lazarus.
names were all over the place.
Yeah.
Like temperance and silence, I can kind of get it because their family was very religious,
Hmm.
right? I'm pretty sure her parents were very religious.
Yeah. Well,
But
yeah,
then
because that's why they did that charity with the orphanage. Yeah.
winters, I don't know how they would have got that, but
Yeah, it was weird.
he wasn't even the oldest. He was younger than her, right? No, he was older than her. He was older.
Yeah, and then she had I think she was like Silence was the youngest and Temperance was like within there. Maybe she's the oldest of the girls. I don't know, but she's then she had two older brothers.
Yeah.
One that owned um something. What did he own? Was one of the brothers in the military, and the other one owned the business that his dad owned. I can't remember what that business was.
Yeah.
What the dad owned.
I don't know. So, you were asking me what do we want to read next? And I'm like,
Yes.
any book that I can finish? I have no idea.
So that's like I don't think you've seen it yet, but I sent you like, hey, if you haven't read it yet, do you want to do book two of the Everflame series?
I
For
I'm
since next
supposed
month
to
is
read that this month.
hey, you still could technically, but then you have to wait.
Oh, I don't know if I want to put that one on or not. Oh, let me see
That's
what
like,
do we
well,
got.
before we do that too,
Okay.
yeah, I'll be traveling for work for here I am, a corporate girly, going to be traveling, and I haven't traveled on an airplane and since college, so this is going to be interesting. But I will be. Do you want to do the 19th of April? That's a Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any plans right now.
Okay. So I'll put that in for 8 o'clock my time. And
Yeah.
this time still works for you, right?
Maybe we should make it 5:30 so that way
I
I'm
don't even. Yeah. So
distracted.
by we could do
Or
5:30 or do
8:30.
6 o'clock or 6 o'clock
No,
your
no.
time,
I don't
whichever
want to
you
get
want
it
to do.
too late for
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's Friday. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, that's up to you then.
Yeah, nine's fine. Yeah.
There's another, I do have some historicals on my KU that I could try. I don't know if you are interested. Um,
Well, I'm good for a fantasy one if you, because I know.
there is a book called, it's by Evie Marceau called Scarlight, and it's on Everand. Do you still have Everand?
No, but I will probably get if there's a ebook or something I can get it. Is it? You said Star or Scar?
Scarlight, or one of the books that I'm supposed to read that I haven't read in forever, Flowers for the Devil by Kay Vahani. Becky wants us to read Sanctuary of Shadows.
I haven't heard that is it.
I
I
haven't heard
to
the
be
best
honest,
about that one.
I actually tried it and when I got it from the library and I'm like, didn't even make it 3 pages. Like this is no.
Oh no.
I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even make it to the first chap through the first chapter.
Yeah. And
Ooh,
I'm just
enemies to
looking at
lovers.
Kindle Unlimited, but um this Scarlight one is by the author who did that White Horse Black Knight. that I really enjoyed. And so this is like another series from her,
Ooh.
but this is a Goldilocks and the Three Bears
You don't have to read the others or
retelling.
anything like that, right?
No, this is like first one.
Okay. So it's this one, right?
Yeah, it's just one. But I think it is Why Choose. I think.
I'm okay with, I like white juice.
Okay. Because it says it's a dark fantasy romance inspired by Goldilocks and the Three Bears with enemies to lovers and fated soulmate tropes. The series begins as young adult and moves to new adult. So it would be the first one would probably be young adult. I'm
That's
okay
fine.
with that.
Well, you know how I like a slow build.
And I
Slow burn,
know.
slow build, slow burn.
I might not like it. And then the other one by V. Kahani. I've been wanting to read this for a while. This one has a very Jack the Ripper type vibe to it. It's a dark Victorian romance, so it might be a little bit in between fantasy and historical. It's longer
Mm.
with tormented villain, strong heroine, forbidden love, secret identity, diverse character tropes. Not a love triangle.
We might be able to do that for May, because I don't know if I'm gonna have time to read that.
Okay. But you can choose something too. I mean, I really honestly
Mm. Well,
my
let me
reading
see.
will
What do
get
I
back
have?
there as soon as I'm done with everything. I'm trying to finish everything this weekend.
Let me see what I got going on here. I had a list. Anybody else got it? I feel so like a little bit, but it just means that
She's
there's
gonna be
no
over
spiders.
18, okay?
Dude, there's some that like they're 16 and it's like that. And it's supposed. I'm like that's
Yeah. Flowers
and
for the Devil
it's an
is
adult, but
has been on my radar for a long time. I've said I'm gonna read it since like October or November. I mean, I also still have Nocticadia on my list. What's another one I was supposed to read this month? I
oh,
don't know if
did
that's
you like
behind.
the? Did you? I think you said you liked the Ever King, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I love the Upper King.
I'm just looking at my Kindle Unlimited list. Then I just know that's there.
I just read that at the same time as the Daniel L. Jensen Viking one, and the Ever King is supposed to be like Vikings and pirates, and like it almost feels like no Vikings compared to the Daniel L. Jensen one. Like that one is so Viking. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I definitely,
Are we gonna go with
yeah,
Scarlight? I'll read it.
yeah. That's what we can do that one.
Okay,
Starlight.
Scarlight.
First
And
star I see.
yeah. I just thought it was interesting because I was like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. What?
Okay, so it says so she was saved from a wolf attack
Yeah.
from a prince from a rival kingdom that they both were left scarred. Okay. Ooh, and then 10 years later, he returns to claim his prize.
Yeah, he saves her, so he
Nice.
feels like she's his now because he saved her life. So he owns her life. Right? Like
I
I
love
thought
I love that.
the synopsis of this seems very intriguing. So I was like,
I like
okay,
I like it gives a little bit of second chance vibes. That's why I
it
love
does.
that. It's like we've met before and then like years later, it's
Yeah.
like second chance. A little bit of
Or
a
like I've
pining
been
and
thinking of you and now you're of age.
that might be a little ick. Just a little bit.
We'll see. We'll see how this one goes. Oh man.
Oh Lord.
Seems interesting. I don't know.
Oy vey. Oh,
All
that's
right.
funny.
It's gonna
Do
be a
we
short one.
okay, so 9 o'clock, April 19th, right? From my time. So
Yes.
that's 7 your time. Wait, I can't do
Six my
math. Six
time.
your time.
Yeah.
Six.
That'd be better. Everyone will have had dinner by then, including me.
And it's a Friday night, so people I think are more okay
Yes.
with 9 p.m. on a Friday.
And I
Okay.
could sit in my normal seat by then. So
Ooh. The cat's gonna be out of the bag then.
I hope so. Dear Lord, I hope so.
Dude, that's how it felt. This took me forever. I wasn't I just I can't speak why I don't know why words are so hard. But I underestimated how much this was gonna take
Yeah.
doing just doing those, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
putting all the books back tomorrow.
Yeah, you were actually doing construction too. So I'm like, dang, I'm like,
I
you go girl.
I sealed it this morning and it needs at least 24 hours. So I'm like, okay. Well, it should be good tomorrow. Even my dad's like, "Oh, you're supposed to wait 3 days." I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I don't have the patience for that,
I
no.
don't have the patience for that. No, thank you.
That's
3 hours, you mean?
it. That's funny.
Okay,
All right,
that's it.
thanks for the hey, short and sweet is not too bad. Actually, it's 40 minutes, so that's still long. We did good.
Yeah. This
We
was a
did
fun
good.
one to talk about though because like I
It
see
was weird.
how you would have liked it and I think I would
Hmm.
have liked it too had he not been so ick.
Yeah, yeah.
Part 2 is coming on Monday.
Ooh, okay.
And that is like the main part of the build. And then part 3 will be paint and styling. The finale. Sorry, I'm breaking it up into episodes.
You got it. No, you're
Well,
building the anticipation.
I have another I have another little video coming too that kind of goes with this whole thing. So I'm trying to finish all those um,
Nice.
this weekend. So that video. So
Yeah.
Monday part 2. Friday is a little fun video for it, and then and then the following Monday, episode 3. I think that's
Yeah,
what's
and
gonna happen.
I'm gonna try to film this weekend at least something. I'm like at this stage, I'm just trying to at least get one video a week done because I'm like I am just so overloaded with everything.
Do the 15 books that defined me or define my taste. I've been liking those.
Okay.
I've
Well,
been liking watching those.
I still have to post. I'm working on trying to post my actual goals this
Oh,
year, even though it's delayed, I'm like, well, springtime, like I don't have the motivation in January to think about goals.
you can set goals anytime. It's okay.
And then I'm gonna do my two top tens, one for romantasy and one for historical romance. So I'm just gonna
Oh,
those are the
yeah.
next ones. But yeah, I'm gonna add the 15 because I'm like, okay, that I see people do. I'm like, I want to do that. So that sounds fun.
I've been enjoying it. I don't know. Been enjoying
It just
watching
won't
people.
happen immediately. I'll add it to the list when I don't have any ideas here,
Add
probably
it to
next
the
month.
list.
Next month, I'm sure.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna head out. This
Yep,
was
yep.
fun, and we'll talk next month.
All right. Bye.
Bye.